Alright, so I've been trying to figure out for a while now a different way to record my moto vlogs so that maybe I can avoid some of this wind noise. There's a ton of it every time I ride, obviously, if you've ever watched any of my videos. It is so obnoxious, and you know, I appreciate anybody who's ever watched my videos, and I feel for the people who've, you know, left comments saying like, oh, you know, I'd like to watch your video, but it's obnoxiously noisy and I can't put up with that. So you know, I'm hoping that I can kind of I guess minimize that effect by having a little bit better setup here. So I got myself this this, I don't even know what you call it, like a little spoiler or windshield extension. I was looking at a few different options for windshields, something to maybe stop the wind buffeting quite as much. And one of the things that I noticed was that you know, all the aftermarket windshields are pretty expensive. The cheapest one I think I found was around $100 or so, and with this thing I was able to get this thing for $30. So I mean, I don't know, it's, let me close this visor and see how it does right now. Another thing that I did was I read some people say that it's smart to wrap your microphone with like a balloon or a piece of a glove or something, like a latex glove or a nitrile glove or whatever. And so I got a glove. I don't even know what it's made of or anything. My old lady had it laying around. She's a hairdresser, so she has it for coloring hair. She gave me a glove. I cut a finger out of it. I put my microphone inside it, and I sealed it as best I could with a zip tie. And then I put, for good measure, another windscreen over top of that. It's a little bit bulky. It's resting up against my chin right now, and I don't really love that part of it, but I don't know, hopefully it's cutting down some of the wind noise also. I can already tell just riding the bike that I'm not getting nearly as much buffeting around my head, thanks to that windscreen. The vibration of the bike does kind of vibrate that windscreen thing, and I don't know how well it'll hold up over time. Hopefully it holds up for a long time, because it's, you know, it seems to work pretty good. But like I told the guys at work that were mentioning, you know, that there's other options out there, I told them, you know, if it lasts me one season, or if I have to buy a new one every season, it's $30. You know, it's no big deal. You know, I'm happy with it so far. I've only ridden, you know, just this morning with it, but it seemed to really help a lot. And I'm looking forward to checking out the footage and seeing what the sound is. That if you're looking for something to cut down some of the wind buffeting, rather than spending a whole bunch of money on a new windshield, I can say that this thing is pretty good quality. If you just search for like a windshield extension or something like that on Amazon, it comes up, and like I said, at about $30. There's a bunch of different sellers. I just picked the one with the highest rating or whatever, and it was an Amazon Prime, so I got it in a couple days, and I installed it last night. It looks pretty good, and you know, it seems solid. I mean, if you grab a hold of it, you can move the whole bike around, so it's on there pretty good. This windshield extension has a good bit of adjustability, and I might have to play with that a little bit. So far it seems to be working pretty well, but I could adjust it even a little more straight up and down, or I could tilt it back a little. I could move it up and down. You know, I'm not really sure where the sweet spot is. I might have to play with it. Luckily it's got this little quick lever here, so if you let off of that, it's basically like a cam in here. So if you loosen that, you can move it all around, and then you just tighten it up again, and it's a pretty neat setup actually.